You are sitting on the couch after a long day. Your dog trots in from the backyard, tail going like a propeller, eyes soft and full of love. Before you can even register what is happening, he has launched himself onto your chest and is pressing his warm, enthusiastic face directly into yours. You laugh. You let him. You even lean in a little because, honestly, after the day you have had, this dog is everything. Then your roommate walks in, looks at you, and goes, "He was just eating something out there." Your stomach drops. Here is the thing. What just happened was not a lapse in hygiene. It was not a sign that your dog is broken or gross or secretly a chaos agent. It was not random affection with terrible timing. The moment your dog chose to come inside and put his face on yours immediately after eating something disgusting was not an accident. It was a message. And if you knew what the message actually said, you would never interpret that moment the same way again. By the end of this, you will never look at your dog licking your face the same way again. Because the real reason is not about digestion, instinct, or bad habits. The question is this: why does your dog choose you in that exact moment? You move through the world nose first, mostly as an afterthought. You smell something, register it briefly, and move on. Your dog does not have that luxury. Their entire reality is built in scent. Every piece of information about safety, belonging, food, and love travels through their nose before it goes anywhere else. Their world is not primarily visual or verbal. It is olfactory in a way that human language barely has words for. A dog's nose contains roughly 300 million olfactory receptors, compared to about 6 million in a human. Research has found that their sense of smell is somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times more powerful than ours. That means when your dog sniffs the ground, they are not just noticing a smell. They are reading an entire story of who was there, when, how they were feeling, and what they had eaten. They are browsing a world of information that is completely invisible to you. So here is layer 1. On a purely mechanical level, dogs lick as a form of chemical communication. When your dog licks your face, they are both depositing their own scent signature and collecting yours. In their social world, scent exchange is how relationships are confirmed. This is not random physical contact. It is a form of chemical conversation that carries meaning their brains are wired to understand. But here is where it gets truly fascinating. Layer 2 goes deeper than the mechanics. Dogs who have been raised by attentive, responsive humans begin to associate the scent of their owner with the feeling of safety, not comfort in a vague way. Real neurological calm. Studies in canine behavior have shown that dogs exposed to their owner's scent show measurable decreases in cortisol, the stress hormone, even when the owner is not physically present. So when your dog eats something pungent and immediately comes to you, there is a very good chance that the strange, intense experience of that smell created a moment of stress or overstimulation in their nervous system, and their brain did what it has learned to do. It sent them straight to the one scent in the world that means safety. Here is the part that almost no one talks about. Layer 3 is where this becomes something else entirely. Dogs do not think in terms of appropriate timing. They do not weigh social situations before deciding to show affection. When your dog feels something, they act on it immediately and completely. So the fact that your dog came to you right after that moment, not an hour later, not after a nap, but immediately, carrying that smell with them without a second of embarrassment, is actually the most unfiltered expression of trust that another creature can show you. They did not check whether you would be pleased. They did not prepare. They just came to you because you are home. In their nervous system, home is a smell, and that smell is you. This is the part that tends to stop people when they really sit with it. Your dog does not love you carefully. They do not ration it or schedule it or wonder if the moment is right. They experience something overwhelming, something confusing, something too big for their system to process alone, and they come to you, not because it is convenient, not because it makes sense, but because in their entire experience of being alive, you are the thing that makes the world feel manageable. That is not just loyalty. That is a kind of devotion that most humans never receive from another human. The practical takeaway is not to stop your dog from licking, because sheer prohibition rarely addresses the underlying drive. Instead, redirect the reunion ritual. When your dog comes in from outside after potentially investigating something unsavory, build a habit where you greet them enthusiastically the moment they come through the door before they make their way to your face. Get low. Let them smell your hands. Talk to them. The reason this works is that it honors the need underneath the behavior. They are seeking contact and scent exchange with you. Give them that deliberately, and their nervous system gets what it came for. The frantic face lunge becomes less necessary because the need has already been met. So that moment on the couch, the one that started with your dog launching himself at your face and ended with your stomach dropping when your roommate walked in, was not what it looked like. It was not poor judgment. It was not a hygiene incident. It was your dog, in the most unguarded and sincere way possible, doing the only thing their nervous system knew how to do after something overwhelming. Running to the one place in the world that feels like safety. Running to you. If you have a dog like this in your life, send this to someone who needs to know what their dog is actually saying, because this changes everything.